They open up business and have no intention of ever paying their bills.
Frank Santabeck's small company sells freight services on piggyback trailers. Even before Cerati hired us to carry freight, Santabeck described how he expected Cerati to cheat us. He said Cerati simply abandons one company after another.
Well, he just simply closes that business, takes out the phone, and reappears under a new name.
And there's enough of a pattern there that you think that he goes into business with this in mind?
I have no doubt about that.
Our plan to collect for the freight began in Alabama when we returned the truck to Suttle's Truck Leasing, where they helped us prepare a freight bill.
Put out there 1,372 miles and 95 cents a mile.
George Overstreet is the dispatcher. Normally, he'd send the bill directly to OTR. But in this case, to prove OTR's owner, Frank Cerati, would cheat us, Overstreet gave me the bill to collect. He said Suttles had not been cheated by Cerati, but the place where he used to work was destroyed because Cerati didn't pay it. So he told us what to expect from Cerati's employees.
Well, chances are they're not going to talk to you. But if they do, just be prepared for some bullshit.
I took the bill and the signed delivery receipts back to Washington and used my initials to concoct a billing service. Then I mailed the bill to OTR. 3 weeks later, I checked to be sure the bill was being processed. Everything was fine. But 2 weeks after that, OTR was past due. So I called again.
Yes, OTR Incorporated.
There was no immediate response. Then,
they're no longer in this building. Where can I reach them?
the woman said she didn't know anything. So I went back to the City of Industry, California, to the OTR office where we picked up the freight. I disclosed that I was really with CNN, but it didn't make any difference. OTR and Cerati were gone.
OTR.
Okay, well, they moved approximately 4 or 5 weeks ago. They left no forwarding address or phone number. We don't know where they are.
She said many truckers had been there looking for Cerati, and the desks, phones, typewriters, and all were gone. So we went to Royal Rubber, the company that manufactured and shipped the rubber mats we hauled. Joan Curley said she had already paid Cerati, and it was his responsibility to pay whomever carried the freight beyond that.
Usually I don't even know who the beyond carrier is, because this way I'm only involved with one carrier and one bill.
Mrs. Curley says she would never knowingly do business with a crook, but it's not her responsibility to investigate the broker she uses. When we carried the load for Cerati, I noticed a truck line called Best Western was also carrying Cerati's freight, so I asked the owner, Robert Benham, how he collected. He said he lost $230,000 to Cerati and now expects to lose everything he's worked for in the last 25 years. And he says Cerati doesn't care.
I come right out and told him, I said, I know what you did, Frank. You know, you put a lot of people out of business. And I said, you got it all stashed away. And he'll laugh.
Cerati was not listed in the phone directory, but we found out about a $180,000 house he was renting in Upland, California, east of Los Angeles, and watched it for 2 days until we knew he was inside. Then we waited for him to come out.
Mr. Cerati, my name's Jay Gourley.
Yeah?
About 7 weeks ago, we hauled a load for you and at OTR. What's happened? We haven't been paid.
Cerati said he didn't want his neighbors to see us and asked that we follow him elsewhere. So he led the way as we followed his Cadillac away from his residence and into a nearby parking lot where he said that the accusations against him were unfounded, that he was just as much a victim as the people who were ruined when he didn't pay them.
I wasn't very successful, but there's a whole lot of people that have not been very successful in the trucking industry, you know, in industry alone. And it just seems really strange. I heard about you yesterday, and it just seems really strange that, you know, you're investigating people that went out of business. That's the basic bottom line. You know, I rent my damn house. Haven't got a pot to pee in now, and I don't know what the heck you guys are making a big fuss about me for, to be quite honest with you.
Well, the reason is because some people have alleged that that's not true. They've alleged that OTR wasn't just a hard luck story, that you've actually opened up and closed down a half a dozen or a dozen companies just like that over the last few years.
I know. I'm sure that there are people that allege that. You know, and there are all kind of allegations, but I'll guarantee you one thing, all right? I wouldn't be living in the little chicken shit house that I'm living in, you know, that the average guy can afford to buy, you know, rent. I hear all kind of allegations. But to be quite candid with you, I don't understand them.
OTR is just a hard luck case. He just couldn't make a go of it. Is that?
Just could not make a go of it.
What about CSK Corporation?
What you know, it couldn't make a go of that either.
In fact, he says he couldn't make a go of a half dozen companies. But he says company records would show that bad debts, not dishonesty, put him out of business. He couldn't produce the records because he said he was afraid of being sued for disclosing details about shippers.
How is it, if it's just a hard luck story, how is it that Frank Sannebeck could have been so sure several weeks ago when he told us if we hauled a load for you that we wouldn't get paid?
I'm not sure that you'll not never get paid, okay? I'll tell you what though, you know, I'd like somebody to go out and collect money so that people can get paid, to be quite honest with you.
Well, you say you'd like these people to get paid, yet they told us at A&D Center that you pulled out and left no forwarding address and no forwarding telephone number. True?
We left no forwarding telephone number. That is true, yeah. That is true. Because we are no longer in business as such in moving product.
How can you have been so sure 3 months ago that if we hauled a load for Cerati, we wouldn't get paid?
Well, we've had a long history of our dealings with Cerati and other people's dealings where they didn't get paid. So it was almost a foregone conclusion, at least in my mind, that you wouldn't get paid either.
Next week, we'll visit a lady freight broker in Portland, Oregon. It said she made off with hundreds of thousands of dollars of truckers' money. And we'll see what she thinks of the accusation. I'm Jay Gourley, CNN Special Assignments.
We have a couple of footnotes to this series. ICC Chairman Heather Gradison declined to be interviewed by CNN and said through a spokesman, truck lines fail because of normal market forces. Well, we don't know if trucker Robert Benham agrees with that, but we can tell you his small carrier company finally went under. The conclusion of who will pay the freight will be shown here at the same time next weekend. That's all the time we have left. Write us at 111 Massachusetts Avenue Northwest, Washington, D.C. 20001 if you have any comments. From Atlanta, I'm Larry Woods.